Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. And just want to welcome you to Pillow Talk Lounge. As always, we're your hosts. I'm James Green.
And I am Cynthia Green. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
It is so good to see everyone. We know we haven't probably been on here in a while now because we were actually, after Couples Fest, our annual event, we took a little break.
Yeah.
So now we are back, and we are back in full effect. Back to strengthening marriages, strengthening relationships. That's what we do.
Yeah, you guys, I don't know how many of you know, but it's a lot of work putting on an event. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy, a lot of resources, just a lot of moving pieces. And afterwards, oh my gosh, I was exhausted and I needed that break. So we're glad to be back.
Yes.
This is November. This is the second Saturday. Yeah, the second Saturday in November. And I really wanted to come back last weekend, but I had an event to attend. But we're back. And, Thanksgiving, people always think of this as the thankful month, the giving month. Everywhere you go, it's all about giving. It's all about being thankful.
Because I was going to say, usually, when you're at dinner, it usually, I know we do as a family, go around and say, what are you thankful for? And I know they do it at our church also. They have people come and say, what are they thankful for?
Yeah, like a testimony. Yeah.
Right.
Testimony night. Yeah.
Right.
But I'm just saying overall for the whole month of November, everywhere you go, it's all about giving back. It's all about donating. It's all about giving your time and serving. And it's about showing that you're grateful, showing that you're thankful. And so that's why, the topic, the theme for everything, every email I'm getting from any business or person, newsletters, just emails, it's all about being thankful or grateful or giving, because people think of November as that. Just like
the giving month,
right, exactly. Just like when Christmas comes, it's also about giving and being thankful.
Because when you give, you're actually being a blessing. And the word says, God blesses you so you could be a blessing.
Yes.
So November is when it usually comes in full effect, where people start really blessing others and showing what they're grateful for. And since God had blessed them, they'd rather go out and bless other people.
Yes. So welcome this morning. You guys know I always like to ask you, what did you have for breakfast this morning? Just post in the comments and share with us what you had for breakfast this morning. Because, this show used to be called Breakfast with the Greens, but we still like to know what y'all doing for breakfast. What are you having brunch? Are you having breakfast? Have you even eaten at all this morning? If you're watching a replay, still post what you have for breakfast in there, because we will be going back, checking comments. And then also, we need you guys to hit the share button. Let me tell you guys something real quick. This is kind of off topic, but not really. Facebook hijacked our business page. So we had to create a whole new Marriage Built to Last page, like a whole new page, and start all over. We had thousands and thousands of followers. So now I don't even think we have 100. I'm not sure. I haven't been on there looking. So we need you to share this so that we can get our followers back, so that we can rebuild. It's like rebuilding the business you got. It's almost like starting over. And this has been going on for months. I've been trying to figure out how to get it back. But if you hit the share button, it will help us to get back to where we were and beyond. So hit that share button, whether you're watching live or you're watching the replay.
Right.
So again, this month, every month, so we got some new formats for Pillow Talk. The first format is, to share our theme of the month. So again, we told you this month is all about being thankful and grateful. So our theme for the month is being a thankful and grateful spouse. Mm-hmm. And our topic today is unleashing the power of gratitude. Okay. And then we're just going to show you some creative ways to just show your spouse that you're grateful.
Right.
Because so many times we're complaining, we're whining, we're harping on our spouses. They think we're nagging because there's things that we want. But how often do you really show them that you're grateful for the things that they do?
And being grateful is truly important. Because if you're not, sometimes your spouse may think you just take them for granted, that, you're just doing what a spouse should do, without showing them that gratitude, without appreciation, what they're actually doing.
Yes. And so some other new pieces to our format is we're going to have the joke of the day. We're not sharing it now. We'll share it closer towards the end of the show. We're also trying to do 30-minute segments instead of a full hour, unless we have a guest. So we are going to have guests. If you're interested in being a guest, send us an email. I will post our email in the feed, but it is info@marriagebuilttolast.com. So send us an email if you've got some juicy stuff you want to share with the people out there. And it doesn't just have to apply to couples, it can apply to life, finances, health, insurance, real estate, whatever it may be. We would love to talk with you. And then also we're going to have sponsors. So if you'd like to be a sponsor, like if you are in finance or real estate and you want people to know about your business, reach out to us about being a sponsor, because you can do that also. And then the last thing we're going to do, we're getting ready for 2025. So our new, I don't know what you call it, like quote is all the way live in 2025. Now we know everybody's going to have some little quirky little theme or quote or whatever for saying for 2025. Well, that's what we've come up with right now. So in 2020, so what we're going to do is we're going to keep giving you tips on how to get ready for 2025, because we do vision and goals parties. So if you've got a group, or you want to get a group, a family of your girlfriends, or a club or organization you belong to, your book club, women's organizations, churches, couples ministry, whatever it may be, and you want them to do a real vision and goals party, reach out to us. Our vision and goals party is very different from the traditional.
It's not just about cutting out pictures and posting them on a board.
That's right.
It's a lot more involved. It's actually let you see where you want to be in the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. It's about setting your vision for the future.
That's right.
And, and the word says, without a vision, the people perish. And if you have an idea, write it down. Put it on tablets so they can run with it.
So, speaking of that, do you have a vision for 2025 yet? If you do, post it in the comments. If you don't, we want you to start thinking about it, because we're going to do some things to prompt you to start thinking about your vision for 2025. See, I've already set my intentions. I call it intentions. I've set my intentions for 2025. Now, I know we're all Christians. So, yes, we want to be led by the Holy Spirit. Yes, we want God to lead us and guide us. But God gave us free will. And he says faith without works is dead. So you got to have some type of plan, some type of idea, some type of vision, some type of intentions or goals for moving your life forward. So we want to hear from you. And so let's just jump into our topic today. All right. So our topic is unleashing the power of gratitude. So we sent out an email and we wrote a blog, and that was the title of it. And the subtitle is how to show sincere appreciation to your spouse. Now, this can be sincere appreciation. Some of these things can go towards anyone that does something nice for you. But overall, you guys know we talk to couples. So we're talking actually about showing appreciation towards your spouse. That's right. So, it's if you're, and even, I'm sorry, baby, even if you're watching and you're single, you can show it towards a friend, towards a family member, towards a coworker. So it relates to anyone, but we just like to talk about showing it towards your spouse. Right. Because you know what, you guys, we do a lot of counseling and coaching, right? And so often when the couples get on there, they just want to share everything that's wrong with the relationship. How do we fix this? How do we fix that? Sometimes being more positive minded than negative minded can get you those things that you really want. Nobody wants to bless a whining, crybaby, complaining, nagging person. They don't. Or a person with the attitude or moody. So we want to help you with knowing the importance of showing heartfelt gratitude. Right. And showing meaningful ways, having meaningful ways to share your appreciation to the person that you love. Right. Because sometimes, you may just say it and there's no feeling behind it. And the person that you're saying it to may see that. Like, oh, you're just saying it. You really don't mean it, because there's no really heartfelt feelings behind that gratitude that you're showing them. You're just going through the motions, so to speak. Right. And y'all, kindness doesn't cost anything.
Exactly.
It doesn't cost anything. I remember, I'm sorry, babe, put you on the spot, but when we first got married, James wasn't used to like giving compliments and showing like real appreciation for something that I said or do. Sometimes I still have to remind him. If I cook a really good meal, y'all, I be waiting for that. Ooh, baby, this is good. Thank you, babe. This was a great meal. Something, like something. Right. Sometimes he does. But my daughter, she always shows her appreciation when I cook a good meal.
And we know that some couples, they don't. Why? Because they feel, okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. But it's always good to let them know that you appreciate that. Show gratitude towards that, because, it's easier to tear somebody down or not to say anything than it is to build them up, than it is to show how you appreciate them, show how you feel about them, because there's feelings involved. And when you think of, like we always say, the love languages, words of affirmation. Sometimes if that's their love language and you may not know it, they look forward to hearing those words of gratitude. They look forward for you to saying something nice about them, even though, okay, I do this all the time, but sometimes it really goes a long way when you show your appreciation or when you say something that you're grateful for that they're doing.
Right. Because, honestly, a lot of us grow up in an environment where it's nothing but negativity. Somebody's yelling at, whether it's our parent or whomever, yelling at us all the time, calling us names, saying hurtful things, putting us down. So you've never been a person to be around positivity. Right. So guess what, though? You have to build yourself up. People try to say, you can just ignore those things, but no, negative words can and do help, and they stay with us. Mm-hmm. And so it's hard to pull out the positiveness. That's a word. Is positiveness a word? It's hard to pull out the positiveness, but y'all, it's a mindset shift. Like we got to get our mind right? We got to get our mind right.
And it's crucial for a healthy relationship. For you to have a healthy relationship, it's crucial that you say the words, that you show your gratitude, how you appreciate the other person. Because trust me, just think when you get married. When you get married, don't you appreciate the fact that, okay, let's say that, and let's go with before that, when you propose and they say yes, don't you appreciate that they said yes? Just think if they didn't say nothing.
Or said no.
Or said no.
Yeah, how about that?
Right. So, and you appreciate the fact that they said yes and that they plan on marrying you. Mm-hmm. So why not do it all through the relationship, all through the marriage, showing your appreciation?
And just to give y'all an example, researchers found that 94%, y'all, of couples who practice gratitude stated they were happier in their relationships. 94% is a high percentage. Sure is. So showing gratitude and showing appreciation to your spouse can turn things around in your marriage. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, little things can turn things around in your marriage. So let's just talk about those things that you can do to show gratitude. Now, there's technically 8 categories. We're not going over all 8. So this is part 1 of unleashing the power of your gratitude. This is part 1. Next week, we'll do part 2. But the first area is what they call PDAs. Y'all know what PDAs are? Mm-hmm. Public displays of affection. So you can show your spouse affection just through PDAs. Right. And PDAs doesn't mean you got to be out in public. You can do it at home. You can do it in the car, but you can do it when you're in a dark movie theater. It doesn't have to be like you're just putting your love on display, because we've talked to couples where they don't like all that public stuff.
Just think about it. For us, sometimes if we're driving and it's just Cynthia and I in the car, I'll reach over and hold her hand. And how does that make you feel?
I start smiling just like I'm doing now. So one easy public display of affection you can do is kiss their hand. I love it. And then the other one is, how about just a little rub on the back?
Like see right now.
How about just a little rub on the back?
We're sitting here and my arm is actually around her.
Yep. And I love it. So, in the movie theater, sit close. In church, hold hands. It could be down on your lap. Nobody has to see it but you.
Don't wait for the pastor to say, grab the hand of your neighbor. Do it on purpose.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. Oh my God, that is too funny. But yeah, so those are just a little thing. Mm-hmm. You know how they say You can really make somebody's day with just a smile. That's just a real simple and heartwarming way to express gratitude. Is just with the
Right.
smile. It doesn't have to be a physical touch, but usually public displays of affection is physical touch. So we've given you several: holding hands in the car, walk by and,
Right.
rub look, I love to do this. And he loves it. Walk by and rub their back hair while they're sitting on the couch.
Or if you're walking down the
watching
street,
TV.
grab their hand.
Yeah, that too. But let me just say this now. Don't do it to irritate them. Don't do it if they're in the middle of watching a football game. They might not appreciate you walking by and rubbing their hands, but they might not mind if you just gently rub them on the back, touch them on the shoulder, or just sit down and sit real close to them like we're doing. Like half my body is on his. That's just how close we are. But, it could just be the squeeze of a hand.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't matter. But y'all know what my favorite PDA is? What's my favorite PDA, babe? What's my favorite PDA?
That's her. She likes hugs. See, I like kisses. She likes hugs.
That's right.
So there's times when I don't kiss her. I just hug her and hold on to her. And she can give that exhale.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love when he hugs me and he just stands there. And then when I take that deep breath or exhale, as he calls it, then he'll let me go. Because then I've gotten my full extent of a good, warm hug. Those things are important.
Right.
And then he likes kisses. And I tell him, you kiss me all the time, but I need more hugs. But, just a little squeeze, just a little hug, whatever that may be. Those things can send a powerful message.
Exactly.
All right. So you need to make these things part of your daily routine.
And that's the thing. If you make them part of your daily routine, then they become automatic. They become a habit, and it makes your spouse feel a certain way now.
Right. And it doesn't mean it's a routine thing or routine feeling. No, that's not what we're saying. We're saying it will become routine that you're always doing something loving, physical, public, moments of affection towards your spouse.
Right.
And it could really, truly make a big difference.
Let me just say this. Those public displays, you're not doing them to lead to sex.
Oh, that's a good one.
Because sometimes I know men feel like, oh yeah, let me hold her hand because when we get back home later tonight, it's on and popping. No, you're doing it to show your gratitude, to show that you appreciate them. Not only the love, but just to show that, you know what, I appreciate you being here with me.
Right. So that was number one, public displays of affection. Number two, and y'all, we're probably going to go do two, and we'll just do 2 a week to the end of the month because I think there's 3 more Saturdays. Mm-hmm. So number 2 is compliments.
Right.
Did y'all know that compliments can really elevate someone's spirit, like make them feel really good? You know how men like to puff out their chest, And
I know, and I was just thinking for men, compliments, like, okay, we all know about roles and responsibilities, about who does what. But just because that's your role, that doesn't mean you can't give them a compliment on doing that role.
I give you a good example. So the trash was smelling, right? And I had made a comment like, oh, gosh, the trash stinks. And I didn't think James was paying me any attention. So, but next thing I know, he's over there and he's taking the bag out and tying it up and taking out the trash. And I was like, thanks, babe, for taking out that trash because it was starting to smell. I appreciate that.
And just like men, when, okay, maybe your spouse or your girl does the laundry and they do it all the time. That's their role. There's nothing wrong with telling them you appreciate them in doing it.
Yeah, thanks, babe, for doing my laundry. Or doing
because I know laundry. We have roles and responsibilities and we still thank each other for doing that role. Like when Cynthia cooks, I wash the dishes or wash the pots. And sometimes she thanks me for washing the pots, even though I know that's my role. Right. It still feels good and that loving way that you appreciate it.
And it's not like I say, thank you for washing the pots. It'd be like, oh, babe, I'm so glad you cleaned out that sink. You put away them dishes or you wash them dishes, And
she says it, if I don't do it that night and I don't do it till the next day, because sometimes I'll do it during my lunch hour the next day. And she'll still say it then for sure, because they'll pile up.
Because guess what? Even though we have roles and responsibilities, we don't police one another.
Right.
Okay. So what does that mean, Cynthia? It means like when I cook, James wash the pots, but if he don't wash them that night, I don't harp all over him because he didn't get up and wash the pots, because I know he's going to do it the next day at some point in time.
Right.
So, I let him do it in his own time. It's not causing me some harm because there's dishes in the sink. Do I wish the sink was clean? Yes, of course I do. But I can either just go ahead and wash it myself, which I do sometimes.
Right.
Sometimes I do.
And I'll say, baby, thanks for doing the pots, because I was good ready to come over and do them. And when you come over and see that the sink is empty, like, you did the pot. Oh, I appreciate that. Just like if I'm doing the yard, if I'm cutting the grass and I'm edging up, sometimes she'll just come out and start blowing the driveway
grass,
and picking up, getting them in a pile and getting them up. And that helps me out because it allows me to do more
teamwork
and not, and not take all the time out there all day doing the yard. And I really appreciate that, because sometimes she'll just come out and say, "Oh, I'll blow the driveway." I'm like, "Oh my God!"
And a compliment can really just uplift you,
and that's what it's about.
Especially when it's a genuine compliment.
Yes,
we got to take time to appreciate the little things. It's like we're always waiting for this big thing, like waiting for our spouse to buy us a diamond or a fur coat, or waiting for our spouse to just come up with this really romantic night out. And we're waiting for those big things, but if you thank them for the little things, it can lead up to the big things.
Like example, yesterday I had some gift cards that I received for my birthday, and they were mine. I received them for my birthday. But Cynthia was talking about she needs some things. So I said, babe, let's just take the gift cards, go out and get you something what you need. If you need some shoes, or you wanted this sweatsuit, or whatever the case may be. So I took the gift cards and went out and bought her something.
I couldn't believe it, y'all. That was so nice. Yes, some things that I've been saying I want to get.
And that's that gratitude for me appreciating her for all the things she does.
Is that why you did it?
Yeah, that does. I appreciate you. And you say you needed it. So why let them go to waste? I wasn't thinking on buying anything.
Okay.
So if I can help you out, hey.
I appreciate it. Thank you, babe.
See?
Thank you,
and that's what we're talking about all this month. Things like that.
See how that makes me smile? When you compliment your spouse and really genuinely thank them, it can really change the mood in the home. It can boost their how they're feeling.
Right.
It can deepen your connection and your relationship. So, there's nothing wrong with thanking them for tackling everyday chores.
Right.
Like you make our home so welcoming, because, if your spouse keeps the house nice and looking good or smelling good, and they straighten it up. And, I remember like I hosted our book club meeting, and I cleaned this house from top to bottom. Y'all, it was smelling so fresh and clean. Not that it doesn't always, but that particular day, it was like everything was sparkling, wasn't it, babe? And he was like, wow, the house is so clean. And I was like, just smiling, like, yeah, I cleaned everything from top to bottom. He did do the vacuuming. He did. But I went ahead and I put down some baking soda, so when he vacuumed, it would get out any odors that's in the carpet and whatnot. So, we working as a team. Right. But there's nothing wrong with just, acknowledging things that your spouse does.
And it's a key to let them know how you feel, because there's times when you appreciate it, but you just don't say anything.
Mm-hmm. Just like, in dealing with couples sometimes, especially when James was talking about love languages, when quality time is somebody's love language, it's so important that, you spend that quality time with them. But at the same time, when they do that, why not say, you know what? I really appreciate you making time for me, even though I know you're really busy. You work really hard. You got long work hours. I really thank you and appreciate you for taking that time for doing that, because y'all positive reinforcement and positive actions will help your spouse feel valued and recognized, and it will help reinforce them activating positive actions. Seriously, that's not why you're doing it, but it does work.
Right.
Same thing with our children. Think about it. When your children do something good, especially at school, bring home some good grades, don't you praise them? Don't you get excited for them? you know, they didn't do it for you, but you still get excited and you praise them, and your kid get all excited. Some people give their child money when they make a A or a really good grade.
And see, and my thing was, I know some children get upset if they got a C or even a D. But my motto was, if I know you tried as hard as you could and you did everything you could and you still got a C, I'm fine with that.
Yes.
At least I know you tried. At least I know you worked at it. You studied. You did what you needed to do. And if that is all you got, I'm good with it. Why get mad when you know they tried?
That's right.
When you know they put in the effort. And that's what we're saying to you today. We need you just to put in that effort, to show that gratitude, to show you appreciate them and the things they do.
I call it spreading the love, y'all. Spread the love. Spread the love. All right. So again, I told you we want to just give you 2 public displays of affection was number 1, and giving compliments. Showing gratefulness, y'all.
Yep.
Thanking people, thanking that person was number 2. Those are some ways that you can really unleash the power of gratitude and show your spouse sincere appreciation for the little things and the big things. But we're talking about the little things that they do. So y'all, we're going to come back with part 2 next week. We have 2 more that we're going to talk about. I'll just give you guys a little bit. I'm just tell you the name of it. What the titles of them are: thoughtful acts of kindness and celebrating.
Right.
All right. So now we're going to go to the fun part.
So as we end, we're going to always end this segment with a joke of the day.
Oh, Lord, y'all. Oh, Lord.
So before we end, we'll always start giving you a joke. That's the end on a light note, the end on, a good note, a humorous note. Okay. So here's a joke. What kind of car does Jesus drive?
The first person to put the answer in the comments, we're going to send you a prize.
So we're going to come back next week with the answer, right?
You want to wait till next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give them a chance to think about it.
Okay. We'll tell you the answer next week.
So everyone, and they may hit the replay, they may share it out, and it'll give people a chance to think about it and come back with the answer. All right? Again, what kind of car does Jesus drive?
So that's the joke of the day. And you guys, don't forget, we want you to be thinking about setting your intentions for 2025. What do you want to come alive in 2025? And we're going to continue to talk about that all this month too, and get ready for you to join one of our Vision and Goals parties. I said I was going to write in the comments and I forgot. Let's see, do I have it here already? Oh, okay. I'll have it next time. I did not do a scroll to go on the screen, but we want you to, here's the email. I could at least do this one. Email us at info@marriagebuilttolast. And you can either send that to us in the email if you don't want to let everybody know the answer to the joke, but we will. The first person who types it in the comments, you will get a prize. We promise you, we're going to mail you something. So you guys, we want you to enjoy the rest of your weekend. And we're going to be posting about our Vision and Goals parties coming up. So make sure you get signed up. And remember, if you build it, it will last. God bless you guys.
And we'll come back with the answer to the joke next week.